Alright guys, this is the explanation, answers explained for number 2, A and B. We'll start with A. Here's the diagram for A, and all I did was throw in values for X and Y so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I solve. But for A, we need both of these, both of the rules for special right triangles. And in class what we did, we went through and we said, alright, well if this is a 45, 45, 90, we know that angle is 45, so we know this is going to be isosceles. If this side is x, then it's isosceles, so this side is also x. And we went through and we proved that this side here is then going to be x root 2. And you can use Pythagorean theorem to figure that out if you want. That's what we did in class, so that's our rule for the 45, 45, 90. For a 30, 60, 90, if that angle is 30, we know that this is going to be 60. And here's our short side. It's opposite the smallest angle, the 30-degree angle. So if we call this short side x, then we know that the hypotenuse is going to be double the length of that short side. And we know that this side down here is going to be whatever the short side is times the square root of 3. So there are the rules that we need, or the relationships between the sides that we need to use within this problem. So let's go ahead and use those relationships. So first thing we notice down here, it's a 45, 45, 90. I've got the hypotenuse. So as it relates to x, that means that 29 is equal to whatever x is times root 2. And if we solve for x, then we have 29 over root 2 is equal to x. And what that does is give us the ability to relate this bottom triangle to the top triangle through this side, which I labeled x. So now I can go ahead and relate this side measure to y and then ultimately to m, which is what I'm trying to get to. So if we know that x in this case is 29 over root 2, y is the short side. So in order to do this, I need to take y and multiply it by root 3 in order to get x. So y times root 3 is going to equal x. From above, we know that x is 29 over root 2. Solve for y, and we end up with something that looks like this. 29 over root 2 times root 3 is going to look like root 6, or is going to simplify to root 6. Now I need an expression for m. I know that from my rules, if I take the short side and double it, then I'm going to get m. So y is the short side, so I need to double y. So 2y is going to equal m, which then equals 58 over root 6. I do want you guys to rationalize, so the last step here would be to rationalize this expression. So we want to multiply by root 6 over root 6 in order to rationalize this. In the numerator, we're going to get 58 root 6. In the denominator, we're going to get just 6. So we've got m equals 58 root 6. And instead of a 6, I'm going to write that as 2 times 3. Because now we can go ahead and simplify. And when I simplify, I end up with 29 root 6 over 3. And that's our final expression for m.